Good morning, my dear friends. Today we are here with another topic that bothers us. So the topic is Islamic point of view of religion. So now we are 3,000 kilometers away from each other. Still, with the boon of science, we can communicate. So we cannot deny the scientific boons. In spite of that, we have some thought regarding the biological basis of origin of life. So today I will hand over this meeting to Faraz. He is not only my student, he is a very brilliant religious person also, and brilliant scientific with a scientific background and scientific thoughts. So today we might not be discussing with the like a theist or atheist or anti-theist or something anti-god, not like that. We shall try to understand the basic principle and the religious principle of life. So I first want to ask you what makes you motivated and ignited the scientific thought and this religious moral things.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm not any biologist or anything related, or I don't know anything much related about my religion, but I'm just a common practicing Muslim. But when we grew up, so we were taught that in our religious scriptures, most of the time when we read that, there are many scientific things mentioned in that, like moon emitting its own light or planets revolving around the sun. There are many such things which are mentioned in the Quran. So we grew up reading the Quran as a book of science, S-I-G-N-S, science, not the book of science. So this science which are mentioned in the Quran, this motivated me to come into this field of science, S-C-I-E-N-C, science. So that is why I am interested in science. And so today's topic basically, as Bhaskar sir told, it is about evolution. So first of all, I would like to say why we Muslims believe Quran to be the word of God.
Yes, actually the thing is that like when you study Quran or Bible, some concepts are very similar. We put like in a conflict there is a different thing, but if you study the Genesis in Bible and Quran, you can see I don't know much about it, but there is a concept of expanding universe. It is not like it is a static, it's a dynamic expansion of universe, or you can see the like a evolution of a human being or the creature from the simple creature. So we want to explore that part, like how Western science that is based on evidence and experiment, and how this Islamic point of view, that is, if you start with that.
Okay, so sir, first of all, before we start this, we need to understand that what is the difference between the Western take over science and religion, and Eastern Islamic states, how they take over the science and religion. When we think about the Western people, before more than 2000 years ago, when Christianity came into existence, churches were the religious institutions in many of the countries like France, Mexico, and England. Churches was the main authorities who used to rule the country and also preach people and everything else. But what happened was the experience of Western people over science and religion and politics is different compared to ours, because when scientists like Galileo, when they said that sun does not rotate or sun does not revolve around the earth, but earth revolves around the sun, he was persecuted. He was not allowed to make such scientific he was not allowed to say such scientific facts openly in public. So that is why Western people they think that when religion is combined with the science, it takes the civilization down, and it makes our society to be backwards. But our experience, our Eastern Islamic experience of science and religion is completely different to those of the Western world. Like in Eastern, what happened was, in the age of Khilafah stands for a spiritual authority of Islam. Like he is the one who rules the states. So when we were under the spiritual authority of Khilafah more than 1,000 years ago, for about 300 years, even the language of science or international language of science, which is known as the lingua franca, even that was Arabic. Because whenever at present we know that lingua franca is English. Whenever you want to publish any work in whenever you want to publish a work and you want the whole globe to read about it, we write it in English so that everyone can understand that and they can understand what is the work you have done. But more than 1,000 years ago, even the lingua franca was Arabic, and there was a city called Andalus where people used to go there and read medicine to become doctors. But now it is completely opposite. Now people go to America to study, and that is because of the clash of the Western and the Eastern experiences with religion. Western experiences with religion is very harsh because the churches did not allow the other people to get educated. They only wanted them to be religious. They only wanted them to be religious and believe what is there in their scriptures. That is why even when Martin Luther King was famous, because he translated the Bible to a readable language, that is German. He made that Bible readable for the common people so that even they could understand. But before that, churches did not allow even that people can understand what was written in the Bible.
One small point, I want to clear it that we are not going to condemn any religion. We are not discussing or
we are not criticizing any religion, but we are just comparing the Eastern and the Western world. We are just comparing the Eastern and the Western world. So the point just I want to make here is the Western world thought that religion cannot be combined with the science because of their experience, which I just now said. Because scientists were persecuted, they were not allowed to make facts, they were not allowed to say the facts publicly, which conflicted with the religion, or to be specific, with their scriptures. But when we come to the Eastern world, their experience is completely different, and there are many facts like the life cycle of honeybee, or the life cycle of water, or the Big Bang. These things are mentioned in the Quran, and till now we can say that all the things from the Quran, it complemented the scientific research. But there is one topic which is still in discussion and so much controversial, and that is the evolution of life. Especially not the evolution of life, especially the evolution of humans.
Yeah.
Because we believe in the theory of creation. In the theory of creation of humans, we believe that humans were created by God, and they were not evolved from previous hominoids such as Neanderthals or before Homo sapiens, which and all were there.
It is like that our form, like morphologically we are same like our ancestor, so there is no gradual evolution from like unicellular to it is something not close to biology, but still there is that concept. God has created from the soil, and the same that was 5,000 year back or 45 lakh year back, or whenever, like 1 lakh year back, a modern human being arisen. Okay. Yes.
So as I was saying that, but when we see our Muslim peoples debating about this evolution, the theory of evolution, some totally deny that evolution is wrong. But I don't think so this is wrong, because there are many facts. We have fossils of Neanderthals or the apes which resembled humans, and we can even do the carbon dating and see that exactly when they were present. And there are even many fossils of other animals which have evolved, such as we know that an ant was evolved from a wasp. All these fossils are present, and so these are the evidences because of which we can't deny the fact that we humans did evolve from apes. So what theory we propose as a Muslim here is, we did evolve from apes. The life originated from water. When we think of after Big Bang, when it happened, the life did originate from water, and there was a unicellular organism. We believe in the micro level of evolution. But when it comes to macro evolution, we can take an example of dominoes. Like there are many dominoes. There is one single domino, and it have many branches. And that first domino, when it falls, it takes all the other branches with it. So when it came to the last domino, that is us, we know that humans, as man, we are not yet evolved. We are the final. At present, we are the final stage of hominoid. We don't have anything which have been evolved from us. So what we think is that evolution did happen till Neanderthals, and after that, when it was our turn to be evolved, that time God directly created us and placed us in that perfect time, and we flourished the civilization.
Okay, now this I don't know much about the Quran about it, but I have read one in biology. There is a domino theory of species creation. So scientists are
Yes,
saying
sir.
simply, there is a domino theory. A new species could be created. So it may be the point of view. So my intention is that there may be some fact behind the Quran or Bible that we misunderstood, and we are building mainly the Richard Dawkins. I don't have the right to condemn or something like that, but they are having an anti-God theories. So still religions have a two point of view like prayer and service. At the same time, religion having a two branches called the capitalism, and they want to dominate. So we are
Hmm.
not in that point of view. Even there were genocide and murder and so many things happened, like not following Bible or something like that. So if you try to understand and go deeper, like scientists are also believing that there is nothing like a theory like a god or anti-god or theist, anti-theist. If you want to just try to decode what they actually tried to speak, there are so many scientific bases. So it just we have to understand what they are trying to speak. It is like this: you have a drop of water. If I try to elaborate, and if this water can be in the three forms, like in the vapor, liquid, and the ice, but you can only drink the liquid format. So this science is like a liquid format of science, only that is understandable and we can drink with evidence. But there are so many views that you are saying domino theory. I had no idea regarding it. So we have to understand and decode their point of view, because see, in this universe, no theory is 100% correct. So there may be some truth behind it. So that is why we are here to explore. Now I request you, if you put some light on that creation of life and evolution, if you want to something add with it, you can.
Yes, sir. I would like to add, but before that, like there are many theories, as you said, which say that God does not exist and we did evolve from apes. But there is one fact which can contradict to that theory, and that fact is that we are the only species who live in civilizations and who have different languages. We communicate to each other with different languages, and there is no biological explanation for why only our species have these things. Like dogs does not have different language, dogs have only one language, cats have their own language. So it shows that we are specially created by the god, and we didn't evolve from the previous species. And one more thing is metacognition is it is in simple terms, if we understand the word metacognition, it means that we know what are the things going around us, and that is known as knowledge. But we are the only species who know why we have that knowledge and how we have that knowledge. That is known as metacognition. There are no other species who have this feature of metacognition in them. So by this we can say that we are the only species created by the god, and maybe the other species were evolved from the species before them. This is the one fact which can contradict the fact that there is no god and we evolved from the apes.
Yeah, yeah. Still, we can put some question on like in textbook we have read monophyletic origin of life, so Australopithecus or Ramapithecus like that. So they are saying that there was a pre-ancestor and from that branching. But as you said, then why there is so much diversity in terms of like a language, thinking, behavior? So there might be, you can put some question regarding that. So that things are under research. We have to go deep. Anyway, please continue.
Okay, so coming back to the evolution, um, to be elaborate about the evolution, Quran does explain about how life evolved from water, from unicellular we became multicellular, and then the life flourished. But at the same time, we have the story of Adam. You might be knowing Adam. He was the first human created by
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
and he was placed directly on
That
the
is
earth.
also Genesis in the Bible.
Yes, sir. Even the Bible has the same concept. So, according to
Same
Quran,
concept. And
according
it is told that
so
yeah.
yes,
So
sir. You say.
bit, correct me if I am wrong or right. So in Bible
Yes, sir.
also we have read that God created human being, the form from the soil, and he inhaled like that, he inhaled the spirit of existence. So that is how the soul exists. One point that I want to add for the biological student, because this theory is very close to the biology NCRT, because it is like that you have read that the human being have a, they are self conscious, but lower organism they doesn't have a self conscious. In Bible also it says that, same in Quran also, that the lower organism have the spirit and we have the soul. So by some methods the God have inhaled the spirit and modified them into soul. So that they are trying to say they have a, they do not have self conscious and we have self conscious. This is the parallelism, parallel science, but we have to
Yes,
decode
sir.
it what they're trying to mean. So that is what I want to, is it true?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is exactly true. And what I was saying is, when God created Adam, before, like, if generally we think they said, like, the theory of evolution, what generally it says is the ancestors of Adam were monkeys. That is what generally it says. They were apes. So they were apes. We believe that they were apes. And also that it is mentioned that the age of Adam was about 10 generations of the present life. Means maybe he lived up to 1,000 years. And along with that, it is also mentioned that his height was he was very gigantic. He wasn't of the height of us. Nowadays the average height of a human is around 6 feet, but he wasn't 6 feet, he was more than that. So this might be around 20 to 50 feet. I'm not sure, I have not read about it, but he was very gigantic. So when I was studying about this, I also read about the super soldier ants. Super soldier ants are during their growth, in a short period of time, when they are exposed to immense growth hormones, they become gigantic in their size. And the scientists concluded that they became gigantic because in their previous their ancestors, uh, in previous times, their ancestors, maybe they were large in size, and that gene which allows them to grow in their size, it became recessive and it got hid in their DNA. So when we give hormones to them, they that gene which is hid, it comes,
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It
it
allows them
allows
to
them to
grow,
grow,
and it,
and they become in the large size. So this is also a fact which can support the theory, which can support these things which are mentioned in the Quran, that the humans first which came on earth were giant. So maybe even that genes are present in us, but generally we don't experiment on humans for obvious reasons.
Anything that you want to add with it? Like the things are still under investigation. The origin of life, evolution of life, and if you study religion and science, you will understand that science is a kind of a religion. That
yes, sir.
goes with the evidence. So yes, science itself it is a kind of a religion, but it is not like to do make a something capitalistic theory or. So we must be liberal. So that is why we are here to discuss about it. So I think you want to share something extra with, or
Yes,
should
sir.
I?
To end with,
I would like to say that the experiences of different countries and different religions with science and their achievements is different. So we should not overlap their experience with ours or our experience with them. So because maybe few religion are not so compatible with science, but few religions are too much compatible with science. So we should take care, we should think like, if our religion is compatible with science, we must support it. And if someone else is and someone else thinks that really for them science is more factual than their religion or than their scriptures, then maybe they are right in their own way, because they have different experience, as I said before, about the church and the Galileo and all. So we must not overlap our experiences, we have different histories, so we are right in our own path.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yes. So that is what the thing actually should go on. We should be very liberal and we want to understand the fact. Now, if you want to convince someone, he take this religion. It is not like that. If you, this is the way of life. Like we don't say ki science, you have to adapt it. So the people will
Yes,
naturally,
sir. Yes, sir.
they feel ki this is a this is not a fake, or it is based on evidence. So like similarly, there are some religion that is the way of life rather than simply a religion, and those are very close to the scientific belief, not scientific belief but scientific experiments. So that thing has to be understood and not be misunderstood by the, like, we are segregating the pupil regarding so many facts. So that is why I'm saying there is an anti-god theory. Anti-god word itself is a illusion, because when you say anti-god, there is a god. Because like if you say anti-matter, there must be a matter. Only point of thing is
Yes,
that
sir.
we
Yes,
should
sir.
not be some capitalistic theories. We are just want to decode the meaning of Quran and other holy scripture. We had no other negative intention to someone or nothing to insult. So like I am Hindu, still I visit church and try to understand the thing. So there is nothing like that. Those are all old concept, and I must thank you for us for this beautiful presentation, because this like scientific aspect of the Quran is not yet known to many people, and that is the thing. I thank you very much. And okay, so I have recorded this video in my roof. So these trees are not actually virtual, these are all original. So this is a December morning, and you have made the morning for us. It's a really beautiful experience.
Yes,
I
sir.
Yes,
think
sir.
people to study a lot regarding this, and think in terms like an unbiased manner, and respect all the religions.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.